Red Shade with Faisal Rajput, only on shimtvlive.com. Don't forget to watch this every Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m.
Hello viewers, this is Faisal Rajput with XIN TV and I'm with Mr. Peter Cook. He is a very famous singer in the England and he is also working with against Brexit campaign and very activist human being and very nice person and a very loyal person with the country, British country. We will ask some questions to Mr. Peter Cook. Mr. Cook, first of all, I want to ask, how are you? Are you fine there?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Okay, it's a nice sign. Now, Mr. Peter Cook, I want to ask the first question to you. How is British friendship with the Pakistan and British government important to us?
Yeah. Well, Britain and Pakistan have always been very good collaborators, colleagues. It's really important in the world that we now have that Pakistan and Britain stand together to sort of build a better world, really. So I think we need Pakistan in the Far East to build a better world. So we're very much collaborative with Pakistan, and we look forward to working with you on sort of world problems such as the Russian oil crisis and all of that. We all have to work together for that.
Okay, very good answer, Mr. Peter Cook.
Well,
what is the role of Pakistan in British Parliament, please?
We have many people in the British Parliament that are from Pakistan. Our Mayor of London is in fact Pakistani, Sadiq Khan. Sajid Javid, our Health Secretary, former Health Secretary from Pakistan. Our possible future Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, is of course from Pakistan. My own MP, Raymond Chishti, is from Pakistan. And we have many members actually. So we have good representation of Pakistani people in our parliament.
Okay, Mr. Peter Cook, very nice answer. And my third question is, why don't the British give a facility of Pakistani students like the students who have no money for earn the education? So why charity organizations do not help many Pakistani students here for learning there?
Well, I'm going to have to apologise on behalf of the British people on this point, because all students from all countries now, because of Brexit, we see them as a means of gaining money. So we are, we're not able to, well, we're not willing to support foreign students in quite the way we were. So it isn't just a problem with Pakistan. We see them as an earning opportunity, which is terrible, actually. Education should be available to all, but unfortunately Brexit means we see them as a cash generation thing. So I just want to apologise to the people of Pakistan and particularly the students coming here. You're very welcome, but it seems as though our government wishes them to pay now.
Oh, very well, Mr. Peter. My fourth question is, how do royal families see Brexit? The royal family, how to see Brexit, please?
Well, our royal family has no opinions on anything other than the horse racing and various other things, and cricket maybe. So it doesn't take any role in our parliament, and therefore officially they have no role in taking an opinion on Brexit. So our Queen has not intervened at all with this. She has stayed away from it, and that's part of the relationship between our parliament and the royal family. Having said that, the Queen stands to see England broken into 4 countries, and the United Kingdom will probably fragment into Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England and other places, and possibly her Commonwealth maybe as a result of our decision to sort of become a tiny island and put a wall around us. So I feel sorry for our Queen, actually, because she can't interfere, but nonetheless her United Kingdom is going to disappear over the next 20, 30 years if it happens the way we expect it to happen.
That's good. What you hurdles have seen during the running the campaign of Brexit? What hurdles you have?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we have Brexit because some very clever people sold us some very clever lies in 2016, and unfortunately, there's still lying at the moment about what we will get. So we were sold an incredibly beautiful dream with Brexit, freedom and all of this wonderful stuff, but we don't have it. In fact, we have our countries become less free because of Brexit. So we were lied to persistently. We're still being lied to, but now people are starting to realise that the lies they were told are not, they're not happening, and people are quite upset kingdom as a result of Brexit. We have this two sides of the debate, and that's why I sort of work really to try and break that deadlock. And I've written a few books on the subject, and one of them is about how to have the difficult conversations with people on the other side. And the other one I've written is a comedy book, British satire on Brexit. You can probably see our Parliament there. So we do need to heal the country, but most political parties are refusing to solve the problem, and the problem is Brexit. It won't go away because we wish it to go away. We need to help the world, and therefore, with Pakistan and all the countries around the world, and Brexit is preventing us from doing that. Really, we've become an isolated nation.
Mr. Peter Cook, I want to ask you, what role Pakistan can doing as a Brexit campaign? What role we can do for you?
Yeah. Well, every person's threat is someone else's opportunity. And so, because we are now rather desperate to seal trade deals, we'll do deals with almost anyone for a very low price. So if I were advising a Pakistani finance house or someone thinking of investing in Britain, I think they're probably very inexpensive to do that right now, because we need to get some in the country. So it's what we call in Britain a fire sale. We're sort of desperate. So I think there are opportunities for everyone to come in and do things really, to improve the country actually, but at the same time to make money. So we should be open for business for Pakistan, really.
The British Pakistanis, there are many British Pakistanis here in the England.
Yeah.
So they will disturb, or they will in the problem after the Brexit?
Well, probably not so much a problem for Pakistanis here at the moment, but all foreign nationals now have to do a lot more red tape after Brexit to register as citizens.
Okay.
And things like that, really.
Okay. Mr. Peter Cook, I want to ask you some about your Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Why Boris Johnson is standing down as a Prime Minister? Why?
Well, his own party asked him to stand down because of, the lies that I mentioned earlier on, and also because he broke all the rules for COVID. But a whole host of the COVID thing was a small thing, but just lying persistently, eventually his own party have said, we don't want to have this anymore. The Conservative Party does need to heal itself, which is why we're having this election. So it's a series of things, but predominantly, the lies have been the problem, and the parties and all the other misbehaviours. We have to have good behaviour from our leaders. We can't just let them break their own rules.
Okay, so who are the candidates to replace him? Who are the candidates?
So we have Rishi Sunak, who himself is a successful business person, and of course Liz Truss, who is another MP in the Tory party. Both of them are at the moment, I'm sorry to say, also promising the Earth. But Liz Truss is promising the Earth and the galaxy and beyond.
Which are each of them like?
Well, Rishi Sunak is a sensible economist and is trying to rebuild the country. And Liz Truss is promising not the Earth, but the whole galaxy, and just repeating Boris Johnson's rather large promises. I don't know who will win, but Rishi Sunak is clearly the more sensible candidate, but we'll have to see.
So will be they good for country? Will be they good for your country?
I'm not entirely sure, but Rishi Sunak would be better insofar as he is a sensible economist. Both of them are saying that they won't undo Brexit, but that may well change. But Rishi Sunak is by far the more intelligent and responsible candidate.
So, who gets to vote for their? Who gets to vote?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
170,000 Tory members get to vote. Out of 68 million people, that's about 0.24% of the population get to vote for this new Prime Minister. So it's not quite a full version of democracy. It's very low number of people that get to vote. And they are being very swayed by the nuclear scale promises of Liz Truss at the moment. I sincerely hope that they really wake up and look at Rishi Sunak, because I think he's got the intelligence and the responsibility.
My question is, what does Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss think about Brexit?
Yes. Well, because the Conservative Party here is divided along Brexit versus staying in Europe, they have decided to both say that Brexit is done. So there is no difference between them. They are both saying that Brexit is done. But I personally think that Rishi Sunak is the more intelligent person. And if he finds that the circumstances change, he will change his policies. But at the moment, they're both saying.
And what they think about the international relations?
Well, again, both of them voted to cancel foreign aid. And that's 1.7% of our GDP. And it means that aid to countries all around the world, including some places in Pakistan, has been cut. And we did that because we've run out of money because of Brexit. I think it's an international disaster giving up on foreign aid. So they have cancelled the foreign aid, which is not good. Nurses from your country when you should be having them there. So I think we need to learn a little bit better, I think, about that to produce a better Britain in a better world, really. So I'm not involved.
And who will you rather have running the country?
I would rather have neither of them running the country. I'd almost prefer a cat or a dog to be running the country right now. But if I have to choose, Rishi Sunak is the person with the brains. And I'd rather have someone that doesn't promise the earth running the country, that's someone sensible. And Rishi Sunak is that sensible person.
Mr. Peter Cook, I want to ask you, do you think Mr. Boris Johnson will come back?
Not in the immediate term. His own party has said go. So leave means leave, as they said in the Brexit referendum. So he's left, or he will leave. I don't think he can come back anytime soon. They may hire him in 2024 to win an election. So that's it.
Okay. What are the achievements against the Brexit campaign? What is achievements right now?
Well, there have been no real achievements, but it is fair to say that he promised to get Brexit done, and he did manage to sign a piece of paper to get it done. The trouble is that Brexit deal is not done, and it's causing all kinds of problems. And one of them in particular is the Northern Ireland situation, that we had to do a fiddle to get Northern Ireland to the Brexit deal. And it threatens peace in Northern Ireland. And really, we are here on planet Earth to make the world a better place, not a worse place. So it is really, Brexit is not done, despite the slogan that he used. It's completely undone, and people are starting to wake up to what it's done to them. Instead of Brexit is done, Brexit is done for, and it's done for our people.
So finally, I want to ask you, the Great Britain will wake up soon, do you think?
With a little help from me and my friends, yes. people are experiencing, like many people across the world, a cost of living crisis. They have been told it's because of the world problems in Ukraine and Russia. But in fact, 5% of our inflation is directly attributable to Brexit. We have inflation running about 8-9% at the moment, and many other countries in the world are experiencing this, and some of it is due to global problems, but at least half of it is, and people are waking up to that. And when it hurts their gas bills, money in their pocket, they can't afford it. So yes, there is hope, and we will return to the world as a better Britain in the end.
Mr. Peter Cook, I want to take a short break for 5 minutes. So I will come back to after the 5 minutes. So please ready for my next 5 questions. So I hope you enjoy our program, XIN TV, with the Faisal Rajput in Pakistan. So we will come back after 5 minutes with a little break. Please take it.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Red Shed with Faisal Rajput, only on ShinTVLive.com. Don't forget to watch this every Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m.
Okay, welcome back with the XIN TV program, Red Shed with the Faisal Rajput, and I'm with Mr. Peter Cook. We have talked lots of about Brexit and lots of talk about Boris Johnson and about politicians of England. Mr. Peter Cook, tell us about Pakistan, northern areas, and we have lots of mountains here and lot of sources here. We have minerals, we have petrol, we have gas, and we have a lot of material here. My objection is Mr. Mountbatten. He have a mistake with the partition with India and Pakistan. Right now, we have a facing Kashmir issue, Indian border issues, and right now we are facing Indian terrorism in Pakistan. Do you agree, Mr. Mountbatten decision against Pakistan and India?
So, first of all, to say the British are in part, a lot responsible for the situation in India and Pakistan. I can't apologise for it enough. It's long before my time, but nonetheless, we helped create this problem. The way out of such problems is rather than weapons and what have you. And we did, 30 years ago, achieve a marvellous result in Northern Ireland through talking to people and finding out what the differences are and working gradually and systematically to remove them. So always the situation is improved by conversation rather than conflict. So I don't have a magic wand, I'm afraid, here for you, but nonetheless, keep talking, I think, and keep finding ways to find out what you have in common rather than what you have in difference.
So what about the United Nations, you said, please? The United Nations role, do you say satisfactory role of United Nations? What do you think, sir?
You know, I don't know whether the United Nations are necessary. If the United Nations weren't there, would this make any difference? We have not tried that experiment. I think the United Nations can only interfere in sovereign nations' affairs to a certain point. They are essentially peacekeepers rather than people who contribute to wars, although other people have other views about that. But it helps to have a global set of policemen, but I don't think it's that important. It's more important for nations to get together and decide what they're going to do together rather than having international policemen. So on balance, I think the UN has a role to play, but you can't rely on the UN to help us out. We have to help ourselves.
You can see in Pakistan right now, we are facing a flooding. Many people die here. And we have a poverty here. Road structure is a disaster here. The big problem of energy problem here. And we have a jobs problem here in Pakistan. Education problem here. So what do you think in the future the British government will do some program for education in Pakistan? Do you think, sir?
Well, all of us have a responsibility to deal with the problems that arise from climate change. We and America have probably caused more of that climate change than you have in Pakistan. So it's you wouldn't forgive me for trying to lecture you about trying to solve your problems that we have created. We created them. However, what can Britain do? I really hope that we will start to and work with nations all over the world to help with some of the things that are good about Britain, our education, our support.
Okay, I understand what you want to say. So my one more question for you. Silk Road is there, have been built. Silk Road. You can go by road, by train to China.
Yeah.
And Pakistan is China relation is very good right now. So what do you think? What British can role play with the China and Pakistan relationship?
I won't answer for Britain first. I'm going to say, first of all, that Pakistan is a big trading nation, as you explained, and so is China. China is a much bigger trading nation than Russia. And therefore, if you can collaborate with China to apply pressure to Russia to, not continue with war, then everyone can get on and trade better. And you have the Silk Road, you have all of that to work with from thousands of years ago. So you have some infrastructure to actually make that work as well. So China should be really collaborating much more with Pakistan, certainly on collaborating trade, but also on influencing other world leaders to make peace in the world.
Yes, I want to ask you, do you like to come China and Pakistan?
I would love to come to China and Pakistan. I've traveled extensively in India. I've never, ever been to Pakistan. I've been to China, just into a small part of China. I would love to come. There's lots. We can do much more if we collaborate.
We are very glad to see you, and we are very glad to take an interview, exclusive interview with the XIN TV. And I hope too we will connect with again and discuss about so many. I have questions, but a very short time. And I love to talk with you, and I love to your loyalty and your honesty with us. You are doing very good part with the Brexit and with the people of British, because many Pakistanis problem there after the Brexit.
Thank you so much to all yourselves and to all the people of Pakistan. I very much.
Thank you very much for XIN TV.
Thank you.